What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to Self-Aware Sundays, the series from the mind of a diagnosed narcissist, telling you how I got to this point of 7 years of psychotherapy, how I deal with my feelings, how I've changed my behaviors, and things like that. Today's episode is going to be about facing your biggest fear. How narcissists, if you want to actually get better, if a narcissist actually wants to get better and change their life for the better, to stop affecting people negatively in their life, how they have to learn how to face their biggest fear. Because if you don't face your biggest fear, then you just be constantly living in fear, right? You be constantly trying to avoid it. And fear, trying to avoid fear is a damn near emotional death sentence, y'all. It's an emotional mental health death sentence, because trying to avoid the things that you're afraid of instead of facing a lot of them head on, it can destroy you from the inside out. Just like I tell people, healing works from the inside out. So does, self-destruction. So does, if healing, hurt, pain works from the inside out as well. The pain that you feel inside, you will express externally. If you're feeling internal pain, you express external pain. So we're going to talk about one of my biggest fears. And it's going to sound super childish. I'm already prepared to get picked on and people to laugh at me when I tell you my biggest fear. Of course, I'm afraid of shame. Of course, I'm afraid of rejection. But my biggest obscure fear is the dark. Let me rephrase it. So I'm afraid of being alone in the dark. If I'm in a dark room with people around me, even my kids, even my light, it's crazy. As long as I'm not alone in the dark, I'm fine. Even when I'm in a completely dark room with my kids when they were 1 month old or 2 months old, I would be fine in the dark room, right? Because I'm not by myself. No TV, no lights, no nothing. It's just me and my baby. I'll be fine. And that's been going on. I have a 15-year-old, so this has been going on for a long time. I have 3 kids. What's 16 now? I have 3 kids, right? So I've been doing this for so long. I've always had somebody in the dark with me. But when I'm alone in the dark, I'm just petrified. I have to have the TV on. Even if the TV is on silent, I just have to have some source of light in the room. And I know people are going to be like, well, Lee, this is just a fear that everybody has. It is a fear that a lot of people have, but mine is deeper than that. And I've talked to my therapist about this. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of being alone in the dark. Because it's not the fact that I think somebody else is in the dark with me or some kind of monster or creature is going to get me. I'm afraid that I'm going to get me. I'm afraid that there's a part of my mind that's sitting back waiting for it to get dark so it can take over. That's why I don't drink to excess anymore. I used to drink to excess and be woo, but I would black out. But then the narcissistic part of me would take over. Because when I would black out, I get blackout drunk. I wasn't passing out and just being, people taking me around, carting me around. I would become a different person. And people just yeah, you got super drunk. You were doing this, you were doing that. You pass out at the end of the night. And it's just but you were not you. So that's why I'm afraid to drink, because the lights go out within my mind. So it's just I have this super fear of darkness that I'm in there with me. I'm in the dark with me, not because there's a monster, Freddy Krueger or Jason. I still watch horror movies and, The Exorcism and Emily Rose and all that other stuff. But I can still stay at home by myself. My wife and kids went to see her dad. I'm home alone, right? And I can stay home alone. I can stay home by myself. Absolutely can. But it's just the darkness that gets me. Because I think I'm alone in the darkness. I feel like if I'm alone in the dark for too long, the narcissistic part of me, the dark part of me will take over. That's just my biggest fear right there, y'all. This really is my biggest obscure fear, but it's not an obscure fear. It's a real thing that goes on inside of my head that I'm trying to justify. But Lee, you made a video talking about facing your fear. So how have you faced that fear? How are you fighting that fear? Again, y'all, it's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing video to make, but I have to do certain things. I have a split level house, right? A split level is part of your house is kind of underground or downstairs. So there's a bathroom downstairs with no window, anything. It's like the laundry room. It's like the crawl space. It leads to the crawl space pretty much. You can go in the bathroom and turn the light completely off and it'd be completely dark in there. And I do that. I have to take my time and do that. It's it gets so dark in there, I can close I can't tell if my eyes are open or closed. But I'm in there taking deep breaths and that feeling it. I'm in the darkness. I can feel my body changing. I promise you, I can feel something inside of me. And I know people go to say, Lee, that's the devil. You need to, Lee, call me ASAP, Lee. That's Satan right there. That's Satan. Satan's hands are on you, Lee. Don't go in the dark. No. Humor is the defense mechanism. I'm funny. I'm funny because I like it throws things off, changes the mind, changes the state. But that's how my mind feels, y'all. That's how I've been feeling, is the fact that like I feel like I have to go in there and dark. I used to go in there and dark train myself to be in the darkness for a little while. I just like, I'm gonna be in the dark for a little while. When I feel like I get to a certain point, I turn the light on, turn it off, turn it on. It helps me realize that there's nobody in there with me. I'm in there with myself, but I'm in there with myself, afraid of myself. I'm not afraid of anybody else, y'all. I'm not afraid of any kind of man or person on this planet. Like I don't know. This is not me being braggadocious, but I'm not no little dude. You know, I'm 6'3", I'm 250 pounds. And I've been known to throw these, a little bit. Yeah, I can defend myself. I'll say that. But that's the way it goes right there, y'all. So I'm telling people, when you're dealing with narcissistic people, these obscure fears are something that they have that they don't know how to deal with. So I've had to dark train myself. I had to I have to learn what I'm afraid of and then attack it head on. Face it head on. Understand what you're afraid of. If you're afraid of commitment, face it head on. Go to talk to a therapist. If you're afraid of shame, face it head on. What I've done with shame, I had to make shame a real person. Like, shame is not this big monstrous entity to me anymore. It's a real person. I personalize shame. I personified shame, not personalized it. Well, I personalized and personified it. It's a person now. You know what I mean? And you can if you're imagining something, you can make it as big or as small as you want to. So I'm trying to make my fear of the darkness as small as I possibly can, right? And another thing I did a couple of years ago, if you go back on my TikToks, you can probably find the videos where I talked about this, is that I've done those sensory deprivation tanks. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that. It's like a sensory deprivation pod where you literally go into the darkness. Like, it's like you strip down naked, you take a shower, and then you get into this float pod. It's a float pod that's like full of salt water, right? You know, a lot of salt, a certain amount of salt in water makes you float. So you get in there like ass naked, lay back, and you're floating. Like, literally you're floating in a pool of water. And then you close the lid. You're in control of it, y'all. You close the lid, and once you close the lid, nothingness. No lights, no sound, no nothing. You can't hear, you can't see. You can't hear anything from the outside. You can hear what you got going on in there. If you start, like I did, when it got dark, I started panicking. I was splashing. I just felt like the shame was going to pull me. I felt like the shameful, narcissistic part of me was going to pull me under the 1 foot deep water and drown me and take over my body. I was scared as hell, but I faced it. So I had to train myself to be in there for long periods of time. It didn't matter if you had your eyes open or closed. It was dark as hell. You know what I mean? So I had my eyes open the whole time, make sure they were open. You can't see anything. It's like you're floating into space, but you can control the light. So I would turn the light on for a little while, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off for a little while. I would do this in periods of like 5 minutes to give myself a break. And I've been facing that for years, y'all. The fear hasn't gone away, but it's definitely dissipated a lot. You know, it is probably one of the most shameful, embarrassing videos I've probably ever made to tell y'all my obscure fear of the dark. But I'm trying to explain the fear of the darkness to y'all, how I face my fear, one of my main fears as a diagnosed narcissist, and how I've tried to overcome it. And I'm using this fear fighting fear to help other people, to help other narcissists or toxic people or narcissistic people, cluster B people that are dealing with mental health issues, to help them, you know. And facing my fear has got me moving and shaking. Yeah, I'm writing a book right now. And also, because I've been facing that fear, I get to talk to congressmen tomorrow about mental health in the United States. So facing that darkness is helping me move forward, you know. But also, don't forget to check out the self-love shirt, the new self-love montage shirt. This is the back of it. Y'all see the words on there, right? This is self-love shirt. I'm strong. I'm thankful. I'm conscious. I'm fearless. This is, you know, I'm aware. This is what it looks like on the front. It's an athletic shirt right here. Check it out at shop.mentalhealness.net. Thank y'all, and make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more Self-Aware Sunday videos, you know, these are videos that these videos are for narcissists to watch, y'all. Y'all can watch them, of course. You watched it this far. But so do people, you know, I don't know. Lee, can I send this video to my partner? I'm like, that video is attacking them. that video is going to feel like an attack, which this one might be as well. I'm not telling you to send these videos to your partner, but if this so happens to, they so happen to watch this, this is not an attack on you. This is actually me lending a helping hand. It's like, hey, snap. Anyways, y'all, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. I am extremely grateful for you. Have no idea. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Helps reach more people. And click on the screen to watch another video or to browse through another playlist. There's also a link on the screen to check out my courses and my support groups to help you heal and understand what you've been through. Thank you so much again. I will see you in the next video. Peace.